Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Prehistoric Speculation, where today Frontier has just released a new feature focus, this time focusing on the weather calamities that you'll be experiencing in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Now there's a lot to unpack in this 5-minute recap, so before I get into it, please remember to like and subscribe, and go follow me on Discord, go join the Discord down in the description below. It really does help me out, and the Discord's a great place to be, so please go do that. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, we're going to be going through these in the order that they appear in the feature focus, and then at the end of it we'll sort of do a recap of everything that we've learned and everything, just my general thoughts on all of it basically. So, the first thing they talk about is Sandstorms. Now, this obviously will be taking place in desert environments, so in the San Diego Chaos Theory instead of any point in the campaign where you happen to be in a desert. There's some really interesting stuff in this that we haven't seen, and it adds a lot more layers to the calamity system, which is really awesome to see. So, the first thing that's new about the Sandstorm, or the Calamity system in general, is low visibility. This is a thing that appears in a couple of the different calamities, and it has a couple different effects. One of them is that all of the ranger scans will now be invalid and you'll have to rescan all of your dinosaurs. So say a couple minutes before the calamity hits, you do a scan of your Carnotauruses, and they're all happy, and now the storms hit and that data is gone. You now no longer know what they want, or if they're happy, or what. So it means you have to go either rescan them by using the ranger teams and redoing that, or that you'll just have to blindly guess what they need throughout the calamity. It also means that guest visibility will be reduced, so the viewing stations will have lesser visibility, which will obviously be hurting your rating for the time of the calamity, but although I don't think that will really be your biggest issue, it is a nice touch to add. You also get really high wind speeds, which I think is a feature of basically all of these, so it'll be damaging your power light stations, your buildings, basically everything. And another new thing is that the sand will begin to clog up the engines of the vehicles in your park. So the vehicles can now break down, basically, is what this is telling us, which is another really awesome feature. It also causes diseases to be much higher than usual because of the situation is so brutal. Basically, the sand is clearly not good for dinosaurs, basically, so it's causing more illness. So at the time your ranger teams are breaking, you're also having to repair the dinosaurs, which is a theme we see for a couple of the other ones as well. And again, as usual, placing shelters around the park is very useful, and using power, like backup generators as well, which we saw in the original campaign playthrough with Bestinslot and all of them people. I think that was what they showed, the backup generators, and they won't be affected by the storm. Now the next one is snowstorms. This is the same visibility defect as the sandstorms, so I'm not going to go over that again. But this one also has a couple different effects. One is that it now causes ranger teams to go slower, which is very interesting because of the amount of snow on the ground. They'll be driving through that and it will be hard to drive. It will also, which is another really interesting thing, your dinosaurs will now no longer appear on the UI on the map. Which means if you want to see if a dinosaur is, or what a dinosaur is, or where it is, like if a fence is broken and it's escaped, you now have to manually go and click on that dinosaur to see where it is and what it's doing, which is another really interesting thing, because obviously the snow will be blocking out the satellite or whatever from above, so that's pretty cool. Dinosaurs will also be getting frostbite from the extreme cold they'll be experiencing here, and this will be taking place in taiga and alpine biomes, so basically the evergreen forest that we've seen. And again, make sure to have a lot of vet units to heal the dinosaurs and have shelters placed so the guests can take shelter. Now, the next two returning ones, but they do slightly alter from what they were like in the first game. So the first one is the tornado. This will be taking place in the deciduous woodland, so basically the England climate. Now this will be very similar to the first game. It will sweep around the park, it will do lots of damage to the buildings and fences and pylons that are in its path, and it will also make the dinosaurs unhappy as well. The dinosaurs won't be happy in this situation, so their agitationness and their comfort will be going down and they'll want to escape. So with the other two, that does mean that Tyrannosaurus Rex won't try and eat everyone in the case of a sandstorm, but in the case of tornadoes and hurricanes, which is the next one, they will do that. And again, that's everything to do with tornadoes. Now the last one is the hurricane. Now there's also, the hurricane doesn't really do much. It's pretty much identical to what was in the first game, but apparently dinosaurs are more threatened by tornadoes than they are by hurricanes. So hurricanes is like the light storm you'd get from the first game. It doesn't really impact it too much, but it does sort of cause a bit of an issue for you because it will break buildings occasionally and all that sort of stuff. So overall, I think the system is very cool. It means that each new biome you have has its own challenges and difficulties like included with the calamities that happen, and that is really awesome. There's some really cool features in there, such as like the dinosaurs disappearing off the UI. That's really cool, and yeah, that's really awesome. Maybe they might even add new biomes or something later on in DLCs or something like that. That would be really awesome, because that is now an option for them to do so. So if they did that, maybe they'd add a couple new weather calamities as well, which would be really awesome. But yeah, overall, that's a really good feature focus. It tells us a lot of stuff we didn't know before, and it's just really interesting in general. So yeah, that is basically this video. This is a quick recap of the feature focus and my thoughts on it. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help me out. And again, go check out the Discord in the description below. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.